Hello and howdy Friday, everybody. Oh, this has been a long week. Well, grab your purses and your teacups and your mommies and welcome to the sissiest broadcast we've had so far. Broadcast. How broad are we? Well, anyway, we've got dolls. We're going to talk about dolls and we're going to talk about hair. Okay, yeah. Now that all the men have run screaming from the room and those who are not conducive to our sissy girl way of life, we will talk about dolls. I think you guys may or may not have seen. I didn't put it on Peace Home Studio. I should have, but I didn't. I put it on my personal Facebook page, but I'll be reposting that today on Peace Home. Yes, we have finished the Easter project. Oh, not one, but two Easter unicorns. Easter unicorns. Oh my goodness. They have little golden unicorn horns. They have lovely little shawls that were inspired by a fellow doll maker who is amazing. Please visit her work anytime. I'll post that below for you too. What is it called? I should know these things. I should be ready for this. It'll come to me later. We've got a lovely little dress. Bloomers, of course bloomers. This shawl really makes it for me. I love it. It was so easy to make. She's got a little sundress underneath and a little place for her tail to stick out because we love that. And again, this sweet, easy little wrap because Easter, we need sweet, white, lovely, light accoutrements with our Easter dresses so that we look really nice. Yay for our Easter egg hunt. Do these guys look for Easter eggs? I'm sure they will help. All right, put these guys away. We're back into the land of dolls. I love dolls. I've had many dolls in my life. And the thing that we're going to focus on is hair, doll hair. Doll hair drives me insane. I love making dolls. I hate the doll hair. Even as tedious as their faces can be, I stitch mine on. A lot of people draw theirs on or paint theirs on or even stencil. I like good old needle and thread because I am that gal. I think you've seen her already. She's been waiting in the wings ever so patiently, trying not to complain about the fact that she's got the Sinead O'Connor look. She has no hair because hair is a thing that takes a lot of time, and I had unicorn things to do, so I couldn't finish her hair. She's got a very pretty little face, but my sister said this to me, and I've got to agree, I guess. I mean, I made her. I don't think she's scary, but my sister said that she was scary, and I think it's because she doesn't have any hair. The women in my family find that to be a suspicious thing because my father has this beautifully thick, luxurious hair. I'm 53. I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but you can guess. The man has a full head of hair that he has to thin on a regular basis. Hardly any gray hair. I don't have hardly any gray hair at my age, so yay. It's a little mousy, but anyway, because of his hair, all three of his daughters have very thick, luxurious hair, and our children have very thick, luxurious hair, so we're a little vain about our hair. That's why when I get ready to put hair on a doll, it is such a stress out for me. I've had successful hair attempts over the years, but as a child, and I guess it's from being from the Barbie generation, I think a doll, in my mind, it has gotten stuck there, that you should be able to do things with their hair. The last doll I ever received when I was 12 for Christmas was this doll. And she is really, really pretty. She came with changes of clothes. She's even got little shoes. But one of the most amazing things about this girl is her hair. This is when Velcro first came out, and we were all agog. But look. Ta-da! She can change her hair. I loved it. And her hair hangs in such a way that you can do things with it. And I totally did. See, here's some more hair. Just put it on there. Oh, now she's a brunette. I braided the hair. I had a little do where I put it up. I mean, I did all kinds of things with this girl. She is a fantastic doll. She doesn't bend at the joints, and she's a little hard, but she sits very well, and her arms are so stiff there that if you put them back just a tad, they act as a little prop, and she'll just sit right up, which is great. So she can watch TV with you. You have little tea parties. Oh, I love tea parties. So we'll put her back. But with rag dolls, you don't want to get any more pretentious than yarn, or I don't. Now, some people have great ideas, and I'm all for new great ideas. But for me, yarn is the thing that makes the world go round for rag dolls. Let me get this hair out of the way. But for smaller dolls especially, yarn can get thick because it's big, thick strands of fiber on little tiny heads. Here's some of my rag dolls from years past. This is Pearl. My great aunt's mother-in-law made this doll for me when I was 5. I remember opening the box and receiving her on my birthday. Very special. Look, she's crocheted her little booties. Isn't that something? I added this later just because I felt she needed some frills. I also stuck some little pearls in the side of her head because her name is Pearl. And you'll see that Pearl's hair is a fixed design. It's been sewn on, sewn into place. See her braids. And as a child, as much as I loved doing hair, it did not occur to me to undo Pearl's hair. It is sewed on. She has a fixed hairstyle. And that's the way it should be, really. It looks oddly, I mean, it doesn't look natural, but it's a little more natural for a small head doll. And as you know, we love Raggedy. Raggedy has a fixed hairstyle. She's got a little more give, and if you look closely, you'll see there are darker red strands in there where I sewed some more hair on her. I didn't overdo it though, because I wanted her to look authentic. I wanted her to look like an authentic Raggedy. But she has a fixed hairstyle. It's sewed down. In my own exploits, here's one. I wrote, I'm saying a lot again. I wrote a blog about fixing her. She was one of my first rag dolls that I made. I took her all apart and redid her, but this is the original sock. But she's got joints now. She's got little feet and little shoes. I'm very proud of the little shoes. Ugh, I don't know. But when I was putting her hair on, I gave her some little bangs and put some more hair, but I started to realize how prickly it can be to use yarn on a small head, because I was still of the opinion that the hair could be loose and I could fix it. Look, I just got frustrated and put it in a little quickie bun in the back, because at the end I gave up. She has, at the moment, a fixed hairstyle. I probably won't take it down. Just leave it as is. Now I have this really great book about doll making. Really, it's called Storybook Toys. Sew 16 Projects from Once Upon a Time by Jill Hamer. Dolls, puppets, softies, and more. If you take a close look at this picture and the doll on there, it's very similar pattern-wise. If you get into the book especially, you'll see that the construction of these dolls is very similar to Pearl. And I'll pull her back out again. It's basically a baby sort of a construction. Let's take a look. I'm going to take her. Originally, her dress was sewn on, but, you know, I made short work of that. as a child. Oh, look, she's even got, oh my gosh, she's even got a little, oh my goodness, oh, a little slip that matches. Oh, look, she's going to need some more elastic in her bloomers. But I call this baby. It's a baby, all right? She's got little, her legs are shaped like little baby legs, little baby arms. She's got a little baby tummy. Here, sorry, dear. This is kind of embarrassing. But you can see that her joints have been put together. Now, my great-aunt's mother-in-law used circles of cardboard because, and heavy stitching that she ran with a big needle through the body so that the legs would move. And she did the same thing for the arms so that they move. There's a string that goes all the way through her body and holds these in place. And she has this here, this cardboard, to keep the thread from cutting into the fabric of her arms. So, oh, I know, it's so embarrassing. But these dolls in this book are very similar to that construction. It looks like a baby. It has a large head and a thick neck. And the arms and legs are joined onto the doll with that sort of construction. I like to use buttons instead of cardboard because it's precious. I love it. These actually have fingers where Pearl just had little stitches in place. But the best thing about this book is the hair. I looked at, well, this doll right here on the front. You can see she has a fixed hairstyle. It drove me insane doing it, but it turned out really, really cute. See? Here's the beginning of it. Look at this. They're using pins to hold the thread in place and stitching them on strand by strand. I have done this. It is painstaking and frustrating, but the results are beautiful. And here's Patience. I call her Patience mainly because of her hair, but you can see that I followed their design. I used pins. I put a line of hair that started across here down. So she's got one swash here and she's got one down. Then I twisted it and made it into this. It was one of those times where it just turned out way better than you could have imagined. It accidentally looks fabulous. She looks great. And I was very happy. I like to use variegated colors so that you can see, because nobody's hair is one flat color. Well, unless you color it and at home. But sometimes we have to. And we can get away with it. But I decided for this girl to try some different techniques. I saw in this book, they suggested making a wig. Now this is clever. They said to take some cardboard and, according to the measurements of her head, wrap yarn, around it this way, have this cut out here and a place to hold on here. And you stitch. You put it in your sewing machine and stitch it so that the hair makes a wig. I decided to give it a try. It seemed a lot easier than having to stitch them on thing by thing. So this is what happened when I did that. Now, you can see I chose yellow and white because blind, everybody likes blind, right? And then it got thick, so I thought I would separate the strands. Another idea that I saw, another doll maker, and I'll post her stuff too because, beautiful, beautiful. But this is what I got. So when I started pulling it apart, at first it seemed really cool, but okay, check it out. She looks like, she should be standing around on Lower Broad. Yeah, so I took that off and I went for some different colors, something a little more subdued than yellow. Into the trash you go. and variegated. I had some of this. This is really pretty, and it's really soft, and you can see it's got a lot of different colors in it. But I tried to variegate it with this dark brown, and it looked a little too extreme, so now I'm going to go with this. During next week, I'll be putting some stuff up about how that's going. But I think I'm going to go with the staid hairstyle, already stitched on, already done. Because again, it's a small doll, small hair. You can't put a lot of hair on there or it looks ridiculous. And if you put just a little hair on there, it kind of needs to stay in place to cover the head. Smaller dolls, you just can't do their hair, again, unless they're Barbie. Meh. I've also hit on something that I think could be genius. We'll find out. All right, here's my favorite sewing book, The Complete Encyclopedia of Stitchery by Mildred Graves Ryan. Oh, she has 3 names. Mildred Graves Ryan. Oh, Doubleday Press. You know it's good. It looks very stuck up, doesn't it? But it's a wonderful book. I love it. I have taken a piece of yarn and I've tied it around it like that. And now I'm going to take these. Don't look at my double chin, y'all. And I'm going to loop it. You know, just the good old loop and pull thing, you know, where you loop it around and you pull it. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to do a couple of lines of those instead of this. Yes. And then I'm going to have a couple of, you know, I'll just clip it at either end and I will have 2 strips of yarn hair to position however I like. And I started this last night and I was using, like I said, this darker brown, but I didn't like it. Do you know what I did? All you have to do, let's say you've got a whole line of these on here. Look, oh, you just take them and slide them off. Ta-da! So I didn't have to pick and chisel. I didn't have to cut new threads because all I have of that is like just a little bit and I really want to use it. It gives a nice bulk. You can do it either way for a part. You can do it front and back to make bangs. You can add, you can subtract, you can move it and change it before you decide to stitch it on just with pins. Oh, it could be genius. It could be awful. We don't know, but we'll find out. But that is my answer to the hair conundrum. What else? Oh, before I go, I want to talk about some of my very, 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 very favorite doll makers that I've been watching on the internet. One, of course, is the inspiration for the little shawls. Look at me looking around because I cannot find. Oh, I threw them down. I think, I don't know if she calls them shawls, you know, the little wraps. Katie Livings. She has a beautiful website, Stitch and Sprig. Oh, look, the information is just coming now. I'm so excited. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. Very beautiful. I will list all these things at the bottom. Also, the beautiful dolls made by the French gal. I can't think of her name, but honestly, they're the most beautiful dolls I have ever seen. All cloth and stitch, handmade, some of the most intricate stitching, delicate, beautiful. In fact, a few years ago, I stumbled upon her work on YouTube. I was so enthralled with it. I looked her up on Etsy. She did sell her patterns, and she also has an accompanying YouTube video that you can watch her as she makes these dolls. Yes, it's in French, but most of it is it's very understandable. It's all very visual. She doesn't talk a lot. Sometimes on videos on YouTube, things to do with yarn and making things, stitching, sewing, crochet. We love to talk. Observe how I love to talk. But sometimes they talk too much and they spend a lot of time at the beginning of the video just blah, 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 blah. Please shut up. Just show me. Just show me the thing. And I don't mean that ugly, y'all. Shut up. You should never tell anybody to shut up. I will post that, her YouTube channel, because you got to see it to believe it. Also, there is another, I think it's Susie Knits. She knits bunnies. Oh my goodness. Adorable. Adorable. These are the things I love to see. I love to see other artists do their work. Most of these other women, their dolls are not for children. I'm still on the fence about that, but I can't help but feel that a doll must be played with and loved. But with handmade dolls, we have to be very careful that what we make for children is safe for children. Babies, you know, chew things off. They explore with their mouths. Some of them play very rough. They don't all sit around and have tea parties. Sometimes they love to toss the dolls. Sometimes they love to take the dolls, hit their siblings with the dolls, chase their pets with the dolls, lump their pets in with their dolls. Imagination has no limits. So if you make things for young children, please be careful with things like buttons or beads or jewelry. That's one of the reasons I like to stitch faces on, because they won't come off as easily. But I usually do give a guarantee that if something comes loose, like a stitch or stuffing comes out or a head comes off or whatever happens, send it back to me and I'll fix it, because child's play is kind of rough. It's kind of rough play. And if that child, for some reason, focuses in on that toy as their favorite, well, that doll's going to get a lot of loving. And here we have Raggedy to prove it. You know, when I put her next to a new doll, her pallor isn't quite as rosy as it once was. She's taken a lot of abuse. And I've had to stitch her back together many, many times. So that's the cost of love. Read The Velveteen Rabbit to get the full story on that. Until we meet again, I'll be posting some more things. I did try to post the picture of my favorite tea, but what's up with Facebook, y'all? They're having some glitches. Is it me? Is it my Wi-Fi? I don't think it is every time. So it just wouldn't do it that night, and then I forgot. So again, we'll have some good accompanying information with this video. And 1 week to go. Get your eggs ready. Get them colored. Get your baskets together. Happy springtime, everybody. Oh, and don't forget where you hide your Easter eggs. Bye.